can't believe you never heard of me. I'm a very popular entertainer.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. It's good to see you. It's good to be here. Man, this weekend for me was one of those weekends that just, I feel like it's still Friday. Didn't really get a whole lot of time off. Didn't really get a whole lot of a whole lot of time to deflate, to relax. However, it was an amazing weekend. It was a very good weekend. And this morning I am back out early. Most times whenever you see me in a black shirt, normally is I'm wearing all black because in video production, live action stuff, you're in black behind the scenes. And so I have a live show this morning that's going on. So we're not going to be here too long today. However, I did want to come and bring a show that I'll probably still be here for like 30 minutes or so. But I still wanted to come by and say hello and good morning. See, that chick Yo was in the room saying good morning. I appreciate you. D-Rob Training. Happy Monday, my guy. Monique, sis, what's good? Happy morning and happy day and great day to you. I want to start with my gratitude journal. And I got it filled in again, so I want to start here. Before I go there, though, I want to say a big shout out, huge shout out to everybody who came out to the first annual, or maybe biannual, I'm not sure. I think it's going to happen twice a year, but they came out to the first event, Father Figure Fishing Tournament. And it rained all day. And people showed up. We had a great time. It was a really good event. And I'm so glad that we were able to get it going. And so that was actually the kickoff for my company as well, Father Figure Institute. It was a really good weekend. I met some really good brothers. And I truly believe that we're going to do some really great work as we're going along. So this morning, man, how was you guys this weekend? Y'all have a great weekend? Put a 1 in the chat if you had a great weekend. If you had a great weekend, put a 1 in the chat. Because we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep it moving. Because I'm starting to learn that expectations are everything. Expectations are everything. Oh, yeah, Craig G. He yawning with the cup of coffee. I appreciate you, my brother. I got my coffee too, and trust me, I know exactly how you feel. We had some great weekends. Everybody had a great weekend. I'm excited. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Well, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Expectations. There are some people who draw the line at expectations. Either they have really high expectations or they have really low expectations. And then there are a few people who kind of expect some things, but they keep it kind of in the middle. They don't get too high, they don't get too low. That's kind of where I am. And it's always amazing that my wife has this saying when some great news will come by or something great will happen, and my wife will be like, yay, all over the place, just jumping up and down, bouncing. And I'm in a corner like, yeah, good job, good job. And somebody will ask her, and I always hear her say it. Is he excited? Does he like it? She says, oh yeah. He's twerking on the inside. You just can't see it. He's twerking on the inside. Because as a soldier, as a kid who felt like he wasn't wanted, I never wanted to be too up in anybody's face, out of sight, out of mind, be stoic. Guys are taught to be stoic most times anyway. So I've always managed my expectations. I never got too high and I never got too low. But as I'm getting older, I'm understanding something. If you don't have high expectations, if you don't expect the best to always happen to you, well, then you're going to get what you're expecting, because it's kind of the same thing. It's what you see here, what you imagine there. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You expecting bad things to happen to you. You expecting things not to work out. So you start saying, I can't win for losing. I can't get nothing right. No, we got to change that, people. We got to change that. We got to start expecting great things to happen to us. Because when we expect great things to happen, our commitment level changes. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So before I go into the camp, I want to go into my gratitudes, because it's going to lead us right there. Not the gratitude, but my gratitude journal, things that I'm grateful for. I'm going to talk about not the gratitude itself, but what inspired me. The thing that inspired me over the weekend was that I did this camp. It was short notice. Timing was just off in a lot of things. I've had 2 weekends off since July. And so I tried to fit the camp in on a day, the only day I had available on the calendar. I don't have any more weekends available for the foreseeable future. Maybe Thanksgiving might be the only weekend I have off for the foreseeable future. But one of my colleagues challenged me to just go ahead and start. Don't keep putting it off. So I said, okay, I started. And I did it ugly. But guess what? It was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful event. And I learned some things about everybody that was there. Some things that I didn't even know before. Like even watching my brother there, I've known him his whole life. Because I'm the oldest. He had known me my whole life, but I know him his whole life. Let me do that again. He had known me my whole life, but I've known him his whole life. And what I will say, there is something to be said for doing it anyway. Doing it anyway. So that's the thing that really inspired me this weekend. It wasn't how it turned out. It wasn't how much fun the kids had. It wasn't anything, but I did it ugly. I had an expectation, and I felt stressed because I got so many phone calls, people saying, Toronto Riggins, good morning, good morning. I received so many phone calls starting Thursday. The event was Saturday morning. Thursday, hey man, hey bruh, have you checked the weather forecast? And I'm like, not really, but I think it's supposed to be clear. It's supposed to rain today. It's like, nah, man, it's shifted. It's going to rain Saturday, bro. So you might want to think about a rain date for the tournament. I'm like, there is no rain date. I don't have another weekend to do it. So it has to be this weekend. So I'm believing God. How many of us have believed God for a good outcome? I said, I'm believing God that it's going to be our outcome. But at that point, it was about 30-40% chance. Oh, but by Friday, 60% chance. Friday night, 90% chance. And so at this point, I am not looking at the weather. I don't want to know. My website traffic is blowing up. People tapping in to see, if there's a cancellation or what's happening. Nobody's hitting me on social media, which I found kind of interesting. But I noticed that the website traffic, it was one person, then 3 people, then 10 people. By Saturday morning, I had about 30 people going to the website looking for, I guess, weather updates, directions, or something. I don't know what they were looking for, but the fact that an event was happening that day and the site was blowing up tells me people were interested in what was either happening or they were going to show up. And so I had all this anxiety building up. And guess what started happening? The expectation, the anxiety, the nerves, everything started kicking in because everybody is watching this now. A lot of people's eyes are actually on this event, and I had no idea that it was important to people. And now, it made me learn some things. It taught me a lesson. When it rains, you get wet. Ladies and gentlemen, I got up at 5:30 a.m. My truck was packed the night before. I get out to the lake. Well, I leave home, there's no rain. Halfway there, a tsunami hits me in the car. Three volunteers called me and said, "Hey man, is there a tsunami plan?" I'm like, "No tsunami plan, man." My wife hit me and was like, actually the day before, she said, "Babe, you checked the weather forecast?" I said, "I haven't." I said, "I refuse to look." She said, "Okay, but what happens when you get up and it's pouring down rain, and what are you going to do?" I replied back. I said, "In that case, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. I don't care if I'm the only person out there with my line in the water. I'm going to show up." So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, that's what I want to talk about today. Commitment. Commitment. I know that's an ugly word sometimes because some of us have commitment issues. Some of us have commitment issues. Oh, man, some of y'all are funny. Yeah, I know I should have said to Pappy. That's it. Show up. Oh, my guy Randy's in the house. They said when you walk on water, you can't look down. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Great event. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. But today we're going to talk about commitment. We're going to talk about when it rains, you have 2 choices. You can get wet or you can stay dry. That's pretty obvious. You can get wet or you can stay dry. When it rains, you're going to get wet if you play in it. But if you choose the safer path and you decide to stay in the house, you tend to miss out on some things. We talked about a few weeks ago that regret was the drink of the old. The people who have given up on life, given up on their dreams, and now they wish they would have. That's the beverage called regret. And I refuse to be a person that drink a lot of that. I don't want to regret anything. I want to go out and at least know that I tried, that I did the work. So what's the drink of the young? The drink of the young is called excuses. Because young people make excuses, which turns into the regret of the old. Making excuses, taking the shorter or the cheaper way will most likely lead you to a life of regret or a bunch of regrets at the end of your life. And I refuse to be that person because I understand we get one shot at this particular life. We get one shot. There hasn't been anybody who's come back and told us any different. So as far as we know, we can only control what we can control, and that's what we do today. What we do every day, because every day is today. The past ain't never coming back. In the future, it's not promised. All we get is today. So every day you wake up, you get today. And that's the only thing we can control. So we focus on controlling our minds. We focus on the plans that we write, the plans that we create. Those are the things that we do it. That's how we do it, I mean. So the rain cat, let me paint this picture for you. God, I would say he paused the rain because the moment I got to the park or got to the lake, the weather broke. There was no rain. And then my brother pulls up behind me. And we were able to get the first shelter set up with tables, chairs down by the water. Because on the hill, there was a pavilion where we were having the main kickoff. But by the water side, by the waterfront, we had shelters set up. And we were able to get a shelter set up, get everything down there with it. And as soon as we got that done and we got back to the main pavilion, here come the rain again. And it rained. It rained from roughly 8:30, and it didn't stop until about 4-ish. Had a few slow moments in there, but for the most part, it rained all day. Now, it hadn't rained in the previous 2 weeks, but no longer than 30 minutes. And it hasn't rained since. Now, an older version of myself would have been like, see, Lord, every time I try to do something, some come up. Somebody throwing some sand in my stuff. Instead of now it's like, okay, I get to know these people more intimately. I get to prove why this is going to be successful. And you won't even believe how many people hit me afterwards, like, hey man, how was the event? Hope everything turned out well. And I'm like, yes, it did. It was amazing. It was an amazing event. I learned so much from just the commitment of it. See, for those of you who are trying to start something, who are searching for this space in life to go and make some things happen, anything worth starting, if you don't have all the pieces, start ugly. If you don't have the time, start ugly. Starting is the key. You have to start. And then you build momentum from there. But if you keep waiting on the perfect time, waiting on the perfect opportunity, perfect timing never comes. Success, remember, is the journey. Success is taking it step by step, brick by brick, building it piece by piece. And then those blocks will start to fit together. And then you'll be in a position to where you can take advantage of opportunity when it comes. Because trust me, opportunity is going to come. You know what happens when you choose to get wet instead of staying dry? There's freedom in that. Because once you're wet, you're already wet. You might as well go have fun now. The whole mindset changes. But if your whole mission is to stay dry, you're going to miss half the blessings along the path. If your whole thing about driving is, I don't want to be in traffic. Trust me, I get it. But if you never get out in traffic, you never get to see the beauty of this world. You never get to see other people. You never get to be involved in other activities. You never, hell, matter of fact, Randy was out there all day with us. Left there, went home, and then went to a football game, got in more traffic, got in more weather with his family. So you can either let life get in your way and stop you from shining, or you can shine regardless. It's about the choices that we make. It's the expectations that we set. We already talked about the results we want in life. We know the what. Monique asked a question. She said, do you learn from a storm or find a solution in it? You find a solution and enjoy the moments in the storm. Ooh, I like that, Mo. I like that. You find a solution and enjoy the moments in the storm. Exactly. That deserves it. I'm gonna drop a bomb on that one. Fire. Appreciate that input, Monique. Really you do. And that's it. So many people are sitting back waiting for perfect situations. Some people are running from waiting for perfect situations, but perfect doesn't really exist. We're imperfect people doing imperfect things every day. Y'all remember when we talked about goal setting? And we talked about the first thing you need to know is what you really want. Because if you don't know what you want, nobody can help you get there. If you don't know what you want, you're going to find it hard to maneuver to where that place is if you don't know. But once you know what you want, you have to know that why you want it is just as important, if not much, if it's not more. Because you're going to need to have something that means something to you that'll keep you willing or keep you on the path when the hard times come. You know, freedom is a great concept. But you have to know that people die for freedom. People make sacrifices for freedom. So what exactly is freedom? What is it that you're willing to die for? What is it that you're willing to give all for? That's your why. That's your why. And that's why the why is so important, because the storms in life are coming and they're going to try to knock you off course. They're going to try to make you stay home. They're going to test your resolve to see, do you really want what you say you want, or do you kind of want it? Because life will give you everything that you desire if you're willing to pay the price for it. And most people, unfortunately, they are not willing to pay the price. They want somebody else to pay the price and give it to them. But that's not how it works. And that's how people get taken advantage of, because they look for the easy way. No easy way. There is no easy way. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to be willing to save yourself. And so that's one of the things that I really learned from the weekend. You have to show up and then see who shows up with you. And that, my friend, that is what your team consists of. So let's go through a couple steps real quick. We talked about knowing the what you want. We talked about the why you want it. But now, how? And then when? How are you going to do it, and when is it going to happen? Remember we talked about starting ugly? I started ugly, and I picked a date to do it. And the event was successful. Now, was it as big as I planned in my mind? No, because of the rain. And a lot of people decided not to come out because they didn't want to get wet. But guess what they missed out on? Guess what they missed out on? They missed out on a great event, some great camaraderie, some good food, some good, just going through discomfort is where you grow. We talk about going to the gym. We talk about working out. We talk about making sacrifices. You don't grow muscle. You don't get in shape without discomfort. You don't build friendships without discomfort. You can't have a relationship without some discomfort, which is why some people are still single, because they can't get along with other people, because they don't want the discomfort. Discomfort is where you grow. The struggle is where you grow. It's where you thrive. It's where you learn who you truly are. When times are good, I don't trust people when times are good, because they'll tell you whatever. But when the bottom falls out and you get a chance to see what a person's made out of, oh man. But that's why I love sports so much too. That's why I love the combat sports especially. Because everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face. When a person gets punched in the face, you get to see who they are for real. Are they going to run away, or are they going to stand and fight? What is it? Fight? Flight? Fight or flight? Yeah, I'm a fighter all day long. I will stand. I will see whatever we set. I will see it through, because I'm going to commit myself to whatever I do. Now, the downfall with me is that I will commit to your stuff faster than I will commit to my stuff. I will commit to my stuff at a slower clip than I will commit to somebody else's stuff. And that's a self issue. That's this thing right between my ears. Why do I think somebody's ice is colder? Why do I think somebody's dream is better? Why do I think somebody's resources and influence is better? You see, I used to believe all those things, but I would never say it out loud. I believed it internally. Because you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. I may not have ever had the thought consciously, but subconsciously, those are the results that I was getting. Because I was building everybody else's everything. Going hard in the paint for everybody's dream, except my own. And then I started to question myself one day after somebody else challenged me. And I started looking at my fruit. Because I would say I'm not really a good employee. I'm not a good employee, man. You know, I'm a little too rebellious. But no, I'm the perfect employee. I do more than what I'm paid to do. I don't make a lot of waves. If you leave me alone, I'm going to get it done. I'm the no stress employee. Now, these are realizations that I've come to in the past year or two. Because I started looking at my fruit. And I had to take accountability for myself and learn that commitment. Matter of fact, what is commitment? Commitment is a promise or a pledge to something. I was promising or pledging my loyalties to everybody but myself. And I didn't want to admit it until I started examining my fruit. Have a good day, baby. I did not want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. I thought that this image that I had in my mind of myself, I thought it was the facts. But ladies and gentlemen, you will never walk past an apple tree and see oranges sitting underneath it or hanging from the limbs. You will know a tree by its fruit. I'm talking about commitment right now. I'm talking about commitment right now. You can lie to other people, and maybe that's okay. But the one person you should never lie to is yourself. Don't believe you're something that you're truly not. How do you know? Do a fruit check. When people come to you promising you the world, telling you that they're the best thing since sliced bread, check the fruit. You see, results don't really lie. They can be misleading, but if you really look at them for what they are, an apple is an apple. I don't care if it's a little small crab apple or it's a big gala apple or a juicy red. An apple is an apple. Might look a little different from tree to tree, but it's still an apple. And if those apples are drying up and they're rotten or they're not growing at all, you have what you have. You have what you have. And the craziest thing about it, it's a word called accountability. And we like to sometimes, and I'm talking to myself right now. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to myself. Maybe I'm talking to the person next to you, not you. But a lot of times, because we want to believe the lie, we want to believe that we are giving our best efforts. We want to believe that we have an elevated level of importance, that we'll lie to ourselves. And we won't check the fruit on purpose. Or we'll see, but we'll turn a blind eye. And we will Jedi mind trick ourselves into believing that everything is okay. But in fact, we know everything isn't okay. Quietly, deep down, we feel the rain drenching us. We feel it. But we just stand there. We just stand there and we hope that God's going to intervene. We hope that somebody's going to bring us an umbrella. But here's the good news. You're already wet. You might as well go have fun now. Go play. Drop the shame. Your hair's messed up already. Your clothing's stuck to your body. We see the protruding pot belly we got right there. You know, you got the wet t-shirt already. You wet already. Everybody see it. We were just lying to ourselves. That's why I don't give the friend title out so quickly. That has to be earned. I need to see character. What does your fruit look like? Bow. Woo. So I have this saying that anybody who's been around me longer than 10 minutes, they know this. I treat everybody pretty much the same across the board, especially when I first meet them. I don't have any expectations talking about that. I don't have any expectations of who you are or what you're going to do. I let you be you. I don't criticize anything. I laugh at a lot because I want you to feel comfortable with me because I want you to be you. And after about 6 months or so, when I start to see who you really are, I can love you for who you are. I let you be you. I let you cook so I can know who you are, so I can learn how to love you, because I can't love you like I love this person or that person. I don't love my children in the same way because they're different people. One child demands hugs and attention. The other child be like, Dad, back up off me. And I let them be them. I love them for who they are. When people come into my life, hey man, I don't make a lot of energy to get to know them too much. I see where they are, and I meet them where they are. And I just watch and I observe. And when I get to a place where I feel like I understand who this is, that's how the expectation is now set. I expect this person to be this person. So if this person is a snake and I allow this snake to bite me, then I deserve to be bit, right? Because you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. You can only be what you are. You can only fake it for so long. And normally 6 months is that breaking point for me. That's when I truly understand or feel comfortable with a person. Randy said, when a person, situation, or apple shows you what they are, believe it. Then you know then you know how to deal with it. Exactly. That is it. So I don't want to get too far down that rabbit trail, but I do want to stress the point of when we are deciding who we want to be, the goals, the dreams that we want to have, there's a process, and we've already talked about it. There's the why, what, when, and how. But one thing I've had to learn to add to my personal list is once you decide on what it is, the why should already be in place. But you have to create the plan and build the team, because one, you cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself. And for me, it was never about 100% creative control or 100% profits, because if you build in by yourself, 100% of zero is 100. I'm sorry, zero. No matter what number you put there, it's going to be zero if you're doing it by yourself. If you don't have time, if you don't have the resources, you don't have the networks, but you're out there building, you got to trust at some point. So you go out there, you build, and you execute until you find the right people. And the right people will reveal themselves, but they have to see your commitment. It is your commitment that's going to spark the loyalty and the trust within them. It is your commitment to your vision that's going to make people want to fall in love with the vision and follow you on that journey, or join you on that journey, or partner with you on that journey. It is your commitment to the cause. It is their belief in you. When they see how dedicated you are to it, they're going to be like, let me get this person some help. I have a certain set of skills that's going to help them get to where they need to go, because I see they want it bad. They don't just kind of want it. They want it. They want it. So the problem with most people is that we're the jack of all trades. We have so many skills and abilities and gifts, so many, that we get scattered. And so now we take the path of least resistance, because it's hard over here. It's hard to do this thing over there. So guess what we do? We go be excellent somewhere else that it ain't so hard. What we need, if you are truly serious about realizing your dreams, you have to dial in on one thing. Do single-minded focus. Dial in one thing at a time. one thing at a time. Be committed to yourself. Trust your own word. Because if you can't trust your word, why do you think somebody else gonna trust it? Be disciplined. Be accountable. And I know that's an ugly word, but be accountable to what you said you were going to do. We haven't done our gratitudes today, and it's kind of been on purpose because I really wanted to drill down into this space because so many of us, we've accomplished some great things in our lives. We got stuff we can hang on our walls. I mean, we have people that sing our praises, and we haven't yet shown our best self. We haven't exhibited the best version of who we are. Now is the time. Now is the time to get it done. So let's get into these gratitudes and let's be grateful for the journey that we've had so far, the success we've had, and we've been half-stepping. Let's give gratitude for that. And then we're going to affirm some better things, some bigger things. All right, let's get to it. What y'all want, waterfall today? Let's do waterfall. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for life itself. I'm grateful for the opportunity to see a new day. I'm grateful for enduring and overcoming all of my past hurts, pains, and troubles. I'm grateful for the family and friends that support and care and love me. I'm grateful for a productive weekend. I'm grateful for following through. I'm grateful for the action that was taken. I'm also grateful for the volunteers that came out, the participants, the winners. I'm grateful that I am learning new things, that I'm being being held accountable for the words that I say. I'm grateful for the people in my life that check in on me, that hold me to a higher standard. I'm grateful because they are making me better. I'm grateful that life isn't a fixed thing, that I have choice. I can decide to be better, to do better, to be more. I am grateful that I have freedom of will, freedom of decision, freedom of choice. I'm grateful that I get to be the architect of my life. I'm grateful. I am so grateful for the journey that I've been on. I'm grateful for me, and I'm grateful for you. So that's the gratitudes. That was the gratitudes. I see my time is winding down. I need to be getting ready to get up out of here. But I just want to say, before we go, and before we get into the affirmations, there was a story I read a long time ago, and I'm going to try to get it right. But it was back probably like 1600s. And these explorers were out on this ship. Somebody might know this story. And they went out. And as they was exploring the land, they realized the land wasn't as fertile. It was going to be hard labor. And most of the men said, you know what? We can get back on the boat and we can go sail somewhere else and maybe find an easier path. But the commander, he knew, this is it. I've been tasked to turn this place into something more than it is. There is no retreat. There is no surrender. There is no next place to go to. So you know what he did? He sent 3 of his best men back to the boats. He dropped bombs on them. He basically set them on fire. And when the sailors, they looked, they was like, what was, the boats are on fire. And the commander stood there and said, yes. So either we make it or we die here. That's commitment. What are you willing to burn the boat on? What are you willing to commit to so intently, so seriously, that you're willing to burn all the other plans? You're willing to abandon all the other gifts, all the other avenues, all the other ways that you can go make money. What are you willing to commit to so fully and completely that you will give up every other pursuit that you may be pursuing? What is it that you have that's burning inside of you to accomplish, that you're willing to burn the ships for? That's what you need to find. That's what you need to really be in search of. And you're not going to be able to stay dry. You're going to have to go out in the rain. You're going to go out and brave the elements, brave the rejections, all of those things that you've been avoiding so far. You're going to have to trust people that you have been afraid to do, afraid to trust. Because commitment means I am at all costs putting myself out there until I turn my dreams into a reality. But the beautiful thing is, once you are committed, there's a relief. There's a freedom. Because now you know the path. Now you know what to tell people when they say, hi, I am, who are you, and what do you do? You ain't got to think of 5 different things that you do. Commitment gives you purpose. It is also something that you can fight for. Something that gives people a reason to jump on board and fight with you. You see, the longer we put off committing to something, the harder it becomes. The more people won't take us serious, because we've been saying that for years, but we ain't done it yet. That great idea that you had 10 years ago, somebody else is gonna have that same idea if they hadn't already had it. I can't tell you how many times I've thought about stuff, and then 2 months later, somebody else had the same idea, but now they're making it more successful than I'm still thinking about it, but they're making it successful. You see, you have to commit to something if you truly have dreams and goals that you want to accomplish. You have to. We're going to close a little different, but we're going to get into these affirmations right now just because I need to get out here fast. So we're going to go ahead and get into these affirmations too. I am more than enough. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am more than enough. And I will keep going until my mission is complete. I am the right one for the job. I am happy and excited to see the fulfillment of all of my dreams. To have multiple properties. To travel the world, impacting tens of thousands of families. Inspiring men to be men. To lead their families, to lead their homes. To leave a lasting legacy. I am committed to the cause of fatherhood and family, personal development, personal growth, family development, and family growth. I am committed to being the best version of myself. And I am also committed to helping as many people do the same. I am happy and excited to have this family that's forming right now on this platform, on this channel. I am happy and excited to have the love of a beautiful woman, beautiful children, and an amazing family. I am excited. I am more than enough. So I'm gonna let that little music rock on just for a few more minutes. And I just want you guys to know, today's show is slightly different, and I couldn't really build some of the things that I want to build into it, but I got to the meat of the point, which was the commitment is what we need. In most cases, it's the commitment that has held us back because we refused to be committed. We have commitment issues. We have trust issues. But it's that thing that will also keep us from really experiencing the success that we want, reaching the goals that we have. For some of us, it's relationship. For some of us, it's business. For some of us, it's legacy. It's a cause worth committing to. And we all have those called dreams. They're called goals. But what happens if we don't commit? They become nightmares. Because either you're going to watch somebody else take your exact same idea with not nearly the talent that you have, and they're going to blow that thing up and make some amazing success happen. And you're going to sit back bitter, wondering, why me? Why does nothing ever work out for me? Because you never expected it to. Because you never expected it to. So today I want to close out slightly different. I guess I'll drop that little music in there. But I want to play a motivational clip that really talks about commitment. And it's one that I found to really give me the energy when times get tough. I watch it a couple of different times, depending on what's going on in my life. But it's really T.D. Jakes. And he's talking about throwing your whole self into something. So that's going to be how we end today. But in the meantime, I want to do some quick shout outs, man. I want to shout out my lovely wife, Bobbyette. Shout out to you, sweetie. Love you. I want to shout out to that chick, yo. That's my cousin, y'all. D-Rob Training. My brother, thanks for coming back. Good to see you again. Monique, sis. Craig G, bruh. Hey, brick by brick, brother. Good. I'm glad to have you back in the house. Toronto Riggins, my sister. Good to see you one more time. And yo, my guy, special shout out to my guy, Randy. This guy's been my day one, man, since 7th grade. 7th grade. He's been with me through all the tough times. And he's going with me through all the good times. He's like, I love that guy, man. So yo, y'all shout out. Put Randy's name in the chat one time. Just Randy, because he's here, man. It's my guy. I have like 6 day ones that I've been tight with since 7th grade, and we still tight to this day. I'm excited, man. Life is amazing. Did I miss anybody? Toronto Riggins, Monique. Can't wait to meet everybody live. Yeah, D-Rob, it's coming, man. This is happening. It's happening. But all right, yo, I got to get ready to get up out of here. So I'm going to close out with this one video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to really dive into some really fun stuff. I'm excited for that. But in the meantime, that's not the one I wanted. I want... that one? Nope, that's not the one I want. Where is it? Oh, there you go. Ha. All right, yeah, this is the one I want right here. All right. Let's pull that down. Let's go here.
I thought I would hate to live and die and never know what would happen if I ever committed myself to anything. Some people have never thrown their whole self at nothing, not at school, not at work, not at marriage, not at church. Oh my God, you've had 1 foot in and 1 foot out of every dream all of your life, and you've never seen what you could be if you ever really connected and threw everything and you're running out of time and running out of excuses and running out of people to blame, wonder what would have happened in school if you'd been committed. Wonder what would have happened in your marriage if you'd been committed. Wonder what would have happened in your church if you'd have really thrown your whole self. You've always been casual. You take a half-committed man and a half-committed trifling woman and put them together, and they'll have some half-committed trifling kids, and the whole house will be half-committed because children will be what they see. Stop fussing at your kids. They're a reflection of you. Your whole life is a facade. The whole thing is a fake. The whole thing is a front. Your whole life is a camouflage suit. And now you're getting older and you'll never get to see what you could have been because the cost of getting to see it is a commitment that you've never been willing to pay. You're trying to get somebody to fall in love with a you that you've never discovered yourself. And then wonder why I thought I'd be further than I am at the age. Let me tell you why you are not further. It is not the devil. It is not witches. It is not demons. And it's sure God ain't haters. You are not any further than where you are right now because you have never thrown your whole self at anything in your life. And you think greatness goes on sale. But true quality never goes on sale. Greatness costs what it costs. You cannot get people to believe in your dream until you believe in it yourself. Stop asking people to invest in things where you have no investment. It's just a golf club. You can pay $500 or $5,000 for it. It's just a golf club until you put it into the hands of Tiger Woods. When you put it into the hands of Tiger Woods, the value shoots up. It's the same set of clubs. All you added was commitment. When you would get it in the hands of somebody who is committed to a dream, who's been working when they was 5 and swinging when they were 6 and swinging when they were 9 and swinging when they were 12. Oh yes, you're going to get a great return because there is a great investment. Do you have anything that you're dreaming that you're willing to be committed to enough to see it happen? I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass. Though the vision tarry, wait for it. He's not just the beginning, he's also the end. If God started it, he will finish it. Shout yes!
Fire, right? Fire, right? Yo, every time I'm going through, when I get a little distracted or discouraged, that is one of the videos that I find and put on that really gives me that renewed sense. Fire. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow. Be blessed. Have a great day. It's Monday. Make it count, make it happen. Peace.